Hi, this is a short recording just to demonstrate how I use the OneNote to mark the students' work. So the idea is I give each student OneNote, access to it. I'll put the resources on there. Plus, what I'll do is I'll ask them to do their homework on there, and then I can mark it. Now, the reason for that is that not only can I put the work on there, all the resources that they want, I can also see how they're getting on. And to be fair, you could even see how they're getting on because yeah, as they add detail into the OneNote where they answer the homework, whether it be a 4, 6, 9, or 20 mark response, you can see it develop over time. So that's quite good. So you can interject, or I can interject at certain points to see if there's an issue. At the end of it, though, what I really like about it is I can leave stickers, I can leave written comments. You'll see that in a moment, but I can also leave audio feedback. I can do all three, one of that sort of thing. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. So let me just get the OneDrive up. I think that's the one. And as usual, it's never where you want it to be. So let's just get this into position. That's now in the box. And here we go. We'll see the screen appear in a minute. So as you can see on the left-hand side, I have a whole bunch of student names over here. This is the OneNote. And if I just scroll up to the top here, if it behaves itself, which it will, you can see I put a 20-mark essay in here. This happens to be an essay from a different unit. This one's on global systems and global governance. The students have to decide and debate whether they think climate change is or will represent the greatest threat to Antarctica and the Southern Ocean. So it's a debate. They have to set it up. Typically, they plan that out. And you normally have an intro, 4 paragraphs, and a conclusion. That's not a rule. That's just good advice. So I'd be commenting on this. I mean, I can do it this way as well. You can see the student has planned, and then as I scroll down, you can see they've written their response. Now, this I've just copied this in, so a student could paste this in this way, or they could type it in. So in this instance, this has been handwritten. This has been done under time pressure, and you can see it's quite detailed. And what I do at the bottom here is I've done like an overview, and just checking it is actually there. So I've said, look, great essay, got 20 out of 20. This is done in 25 minutes. This was from a top candidate. This student was had written this in year 13. And I put, look, great introduction, range of paragraphs. That's a positive. I've said you've been evaluative throughout the whole of the essay, answered the question. You then follow it up as you've been answering the question with explanations, range of ideas, what we call the developed explanation points, key terminology, evidence, reference to scale, and a detailed conclusion. And then I've put target, model this out to other topics that you're studying so that there's consistency, time management, just keep practicing that. And I wouldn't read through this and then do the audio feedback like this, but I'm just trying to demonstrate what's going on here. And then if I just press this, hopefully it will work. Actually, I need to activate the screen just to make sure it does share the sound. And then this is what I leave on here. So that's words. Playing. So, hi, I've written some basic commentary underneath your essay, but first of all, what a great essay. I've awarded it 20 out of 20. Level 4, so what I did, as I usually do, and I've taught you, I've read it through, you answer the question, and you know, and you've done it in depth as well, that this essay is climate change the biggest threat? It's stated it is the biggest threat to Antarctica. So you know that you have to set this up as a debate. Intro, to the point, clarifies the area, mentions that it's a threat, major threat potentially, and you mention other threats as well. So that's really, really good. It's got AO1, AO2. Remember we said about your essay wants to have a blend of that, and it's the best fit. You've got good depth in terms of a range of ideas. So you talk about the climate change threat, but you also talk about threats from fishing. You even talk about potential threats from in the future from mining, extraction, all those sorts of things. So that's really good. You've got the paragraph structure nailed down. So when I've said that you need to answer the question, which is evaluate, assess, you've mentioned the factor, you've said it's a significant threat or not, you've explained it. You've also done the developed explanation where you get the chain of explanation points. One thing leads on to another. You also, and you do the icing on the cake here, you link it to specific examples like named places, named organizations, potential threats, really good terminology. And you're doing that several times within the paragraph. And then at the end, you link back. And effectively, I would say in all of your paragraphs, you start off evaluatively, explain, which justifies it. There's then a pause to kind of reflect, therefore type sort of thing. And then you go on to explain, and then you link back at the end. So there's like a mini conclusion, and you've kind of repeated that all the way through your essay, which is fantastic. So you've got the adage of answer the question, which is assess, explain your point of view several times. Then you link it to that evidence. That's going to ensure that you get top level 3, which is kind of like the 15. But then you're using evidence really well. It's nuanced, and therefore you jumped into level 4. And the conclusion, again, is really good. You state your opinion, you justify opinion with several points, and then you back it up with evidence, and you also talk about the complexity of how things might change in the future. So absolutely brilliant essay. Really, it's about repeating this on a consistent basis, right? You've been able to sort of do this for other topics, under pressure, time pressure. So keep working at it. I wouldn't, on this one, I wouldn't say there's really anything to kind of upscale particularly. So brilliant. Let's continue. Fantastic. Thanks. And that's basically it. There'll be other things I'll place on there. Sometimes I'll put a marking grid, other ideas, and there's opportunities for the students to write feedback on this as well. So a really, really good tool. So this is just part of the things that I'll be offering, and to make sure that the students fully engage in the course, doing the content, doing the exam question practice, turning up for the meeting, using the WhatsApp group, things like that. That's what makes it a recipe for success. Anyway, sign that off, and then you can obviously you can look at this and then ask me further questions. Okay, thanks. Bye.